Okay, and now that we have watched the video and learned about winter in the North Pole, we're going to be drawing one of the animals that is found in the North Pole. So let's take a look at our example. What is this a picture of? That's right. It's a polar bear. And we've got a cute little polar bear to draw. Kind of like those cute little polar bears we see in the Coca-Cola commercials. You guys ever seen those commercials with the little polar bears and their cans of Coke? They love their Coca-Cola for some reason, but they are super cute. So we are going to draw our polar bear today. So make sure your paper is going nice and tall today. Nice and tall, because we're making a portrait of a polar bear. Did you know you could make a portrait of an animal? Portraits just don't have to be of people. They can be of animals too. So we're going to be drawing our polar bear's portrait. So get your paper going nice and tall in the portrait mode. And get your pencil. I've got my Sharpie. And we are going to get started. Now the first thing we are going to do is we are going to draw his head. Now let's take a look at this shape. I started all the way down here at the very bottom of my paper, and I drew an upside down letter U almost to the very top of my paper, didn't I? Now, did I start here in the middle and then go up and around? Nope, I started all the way down here at the very bottom. So put your finger down here at the very, very bottom of your paper. We're going to start there, and we're going to come up almost to the very, very top, and then we're going to curve over, kind of like a big roller coaster. Think of it like a roller coaster. We got to go up the hill, over the hump, and then we go all the way back down. Okay? So you got your finger down here. We'll start at the very bottom. I'm going to go up like a roller coaster, up, 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 curve over, and then all the way back down to the bottom. Giant upside down letter U. Start very bottom, go all the way up, around, and back down to the bottom, like a giant roller coaster. Okay, take another few seconds and finish this, and then we're going to draw his ears. So finish drawing his head, and while we're finishing his head, we're going to take a look at his ears for a second. Now, if I look at the shape of his ears, does it also look like an upside down U? Yep, that upside down U, kind of that rainbow line, and there's two of them, right? We've got the outside of his ear and the inside of his ear, and there's going to be one on either side of his head. Okay? So I'm going to get my pencil back out, and on the left side I'm going to draw an upside down U. Get that upside down U there in the corner, and then I'm going to draw another little one inside. So it kind of almost looks like a rainbow without the stripes in it. And then we'll do the exact same thing on the other side. I'm going to draw an upside down U. And then another one on the inside. Now, again, do these have to look perfect? Nope. We're just learning to draw, and we're practicing, and the more we practice, the better we're going to get. But if we never try, can we get better? Nope, we have to constantly try. And sometimes that means we make mistakes. But in art, we turn our mistakes into masterpieces. So if I'm having trouble, can I always just flip my paper over on the back and start over? Absolutely. I've got an eraser. I can erase mistakes. There's a lot of things we can do. Okay, so we should have his ears done. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw his eyes. So right here, up towards the top, we're going to draw 2 little circles. 2 little circles, and we'll color those in black. But right now, we're just going to leave them white. Okay, so next we're going to draw his nose and his mouth. So let's take a look. His nose is like a triangle, but it's kind of curvy, isn't it? It's kind of curvy. It kind of looks like a Dorito. You guys ever eat Doritos? I love Doritos. Doritos are triangle shaped, but the edges are curved. And then if I look at his mouth, can you see how his mouth, I'm going to flip this upside down. Look at his mouth. Do you see what letter this is? Is that the letter Y? And it's just upside down? Yes, it is. It's the letter Y, but it's just upside down. Okay, so first we're going to draw his nose. So to make his nose, I'm going to start by making a little frowny face. Just a little frowny face. And then I'm going to curve the ends of my frown face, curve them down. But I'm not going to make them meet yet. Okay, and then I'm just going to draw kind of like a smiley face underneath. And that's going to make it look like a Dorito, right? Kind of makes it look like a Dorito. Now, if you're having trouble with this, can you just draw a regular triangle? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I'd like for you to try to round the corners, okay? Try to make the corners a little round. But if you can't, you can just make a triangle and it will be perfectly fine. Okay. Now, at the bottom, we're going to draw a little line straight down. And then we're going to make his mouth 2 diagonal lines, like the top of a triangle, which makes it that upside down letter Y. Okay, now there's one more thing we need to do with his mouth. Look around his mouth. What shape is that? Is it an oval? Yes, it is. Now remember, an oval is a circle that we stretch out, okay? A circle that gets stretched. So I'm going to draw an oval around his nose and his mouth. Just draw an oval around his nose and his mouth. And now on either side, I'm going to make 2 more circles, and these are going to be his cheeks. And as you can see in our example, they're going to be red. We're almost done. We've got his whole face done, but what is our polar bear wearing? He's wearing a scarf. We're going to give our polar bear a scarf today. So finish his nose, his mouth, the oval around, and his 2 cheeks, and we're going to draw his scarf here in just a few seconds. Okay, to draw his scarf, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here on the bottom, not right in the middle. I'm going to come over to the right a little bit, and I'm going to draw a circle. And that's going to be the knot of our scarf. So I'm going to start with a circle. Okay, now right here on the side of my circle, I'm going to draw a horizontal line over to the edge of his neck. So if I look sideways, it kind of looks like a number 9 right now, doesn't it? Kind of looks like a 9. Okay, now down towards the bottom, I'm going to draw another horizontal line over to his neck. So I've got the knot and then 2 horizontal lines going left to right over to his neck. Okay, now I'm going to come over to the other side of my circle, and this time my horizontal line is going to go over to the left side of his neck. So watch. Now, does it have to be perfectly straight? No, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. It's going to start near the top and go all the way over to his neck. And then down here at the bottom, I'm going to do the same thing. We'll start at the circle and go over to the left side of his neck. And again, doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Scarf-ish. Just an ish drawing. Okay, now to do the tails of his scarf, watch what I do. I'm going to start at the bottom of my circle, and I'm going to draw an upside down V. And it's going to go all the way down to the bottom of my paper. So you see my upside down V all the way to the bottom of my paper? All the way down to the bottom. Start from the middle of the circle and draw 2 diagonal lines going opposite directions, upside down V, going to the bottom of the paper. Okay, now I want you to look at your circle and see this horizontal line. Find where your circle and your horizontal line meet right here. Put your finger right there where the circle and this horizontal line meet. Okay, and I'm going to start there, and I'm going to make another diagonal line down to the bottom of my paper. Okay, so horizontal line, circle where they meet. Excuse me. I draw a diagonal line from there down to the very bottom of my paper. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to my circle, and where this bottom horizontal line meets my circle right here, see where I'm pointing right here? I'm going to start right there. And this time, I'm going to make a diagonal line going to the left. So I started where my circle and my horizontal line met, and I drew a diagonal line all the way down to the bottom of my paper. And now he's got the tails of his scarf. So once you get that, you can put your pencil away, put your pencil over, and it's time to get out our markers and crayons. So finish drawing and then get your markers and crayons. We are going to start with red. We're going to start with red today. So once you're done drawing, get your red marker out. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to outline the 2 circles on either side of his nose for his cheeks. I'm not going to color them in. I'm just going around the outside edges. Just going around the outside edges. Down here at the bottom, I'm going to do his scarf. I'm going to start with the knot, that circle we drew. Then I'm going to do the horizontal lines going over to the right. And it's going to go over to the left. So I did the circle, the knot, and the horizontal lines going to the right, horizontal lines going to the left. And then I'm going to do the 2 tails. Those diagonal lines going down to the bottom. And then once I'm done, I can snap that cap. I can put my red marker up, and now I need to find my red crayon. So find your red crayon, finish outlining your scarf if you need to finish, and then get out your red crayon. And we're going to color in his cheeks. Remember, we color neatly, we color lightly, we stay in the lines, and we fill up the whole space. Color his cheeks, and then I'm going to color his scarf. Now, again, if you need to take your picture and twist it to make it easier to color, you go right ahead. You turn your paper however you need so coloring doesn't hurt your hand. Okay, so I've got his cheeks and his scarf finished. Coloring neatly, coloring lightly, staying in the lines and filling up the whole space. And then when I'm finished, I can put my red crayon up, and then I can get out my black marker. Black marker will be next. So finish his cheeks and his scarf, and then get your black marker. Okay, so we're going to start and we're going to do that big big upside down U. Start at the bottom. I'm gonna go up my roller coaster, up, 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 around. And then I'm gonna come all the way back down to the bottom. That giant upside down U. Okay, then I'm going to do both of his ears. The big upside down U on the left. The little upside down U on the left. The big upside down U on the right. The little upside down U on the right. Outline his ears. The outside and the inside. Outside and the inside. Both sides. Now I'm going to outline his eyes. Now if your eyes are small and when you're outlining with your marker and it gets colored in, that's okay. But we don't want to color in big shapes with a marker because then we won't have any marker left. So try to outline them so we can color with a crayon. But if they're small and when you outline it colors in, that's fine. We're going to do his nose. That curvy triangle that looks like a Dorito. We're going to do the upside down Y for his mouth. And then we're going to do the oval that goes all the way around his nose and his mouth. When we're done, we snap that cap. Now, to go back over what we did with black, we did the big upside down U of his face. We did the two upside down U's of each ear. We did around each circle eye. His curvy triangular Dorito nose, the upside down Y of his mouth, and the oval that goes around his nose and his mouth. That was all done with a black marker. So when you're done with all of that, you can put your black marker up, and then we need to get out a black crayon. Now, there's only a couple things that we're going to color black. So if we look at our example, we can see the inside of his ears, his eyes, and his nose. So 5 things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 ears, 2 eyes, 1 nose. So we color neatly, color lightly, stay in the lines, and fill in the whole space. And again, if you need to twist your paper around to make it easier to color, you do whatever you need to do because I don't want anybody's hands to hurt from coloring. Do the 2 inside of his ears, the inside, 2 eyes, and his nose. 5 things are colored with a black crayon. And then when I'm done, I can put my black crayon away. And then the only thing we have left to color is the background around him, which, as you can see from my example, I colored purple. Purple, one of those cool colors because he lives in the North Pole and it's very, very cold there. Very cold. So once you've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things with your black crayon, you can get your purple crayon out, and then you're just going to color all around the outside of your polar bear. So I'm not going to make you guys watch me. I just wanted to show you guys your purple, or remember, violet or purple, same color. And you're going to make your polar bear look like mine. Leave all the rest of him white and just color around him with a purple crayon. So finish coloring, and I hope you guys had fun learning about the North Pole and polar bears. And until next time.